Our next speaker is Lionel. You know him as a commentator on television. You've probably seen him on RT America. He appears frequently as part of the Russian government's effort to poke the American government in the eye, which we love to see. And Lionel is the mononym of Michael William LeBron. He's a former prosecutor, licensed trial lawyer, TV, media news decoder, legal analyst, veteran talk radio host, essayist, monologuist, pioneer podcaster, author, bluegrass musician, and vegan. More interestingly, he has received votes in every single presidential election as a presidential candidate since he's been eligible, because he always writes himself in as a candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lionel.
Is that the best you can do? Come on! This is for liberty. Okay, we're gonna pick this thing up, baby. I've got 15 minutes. I'm gonna go, huh? 30? All right, maybe I got 15 minutes. I don't know. 3:11. That's the time I start. 3:11? Sounds like 9/11. What does it mean? I have no idea. First, I was telling some friends of mine. They said, "Where are you going today?" I said, "I'm going to Liberty Fest." What's Liberty Fest? It's about liberty. What the hell does that mean? I said, you know, freedom, liberty. I said, I'm going to be with a bunch of left-wing and radical anarchists and freaks, and I guess. Have you ever felt like this? Why do you have to explain to somebody the benefits of advocating liberty? How many people do you know who think everything's great? What are you talking about, liberty? What liberty don't you have? What country are you living in? Do you get this from people? Are you awake? Just nod yes. Work with me. I know it's a Sunday, the Lord's Day. So here's what I've done. I've come up with 12 rules for you. 12. Count them. For you to talk to your friends about. This is the way I see the world. And it changes daily. Don't ever be afraid to change. I have changed drastically through my life. I have no idea what's going to change me tomorrow. Don't ever be afraid of that. Because the moment you're saying, well, I'm happy, you don't understand what's going on. Change. The world is like a cancer. It mutates. The problems change. John Maynard Keynes said, when the facts change, change your opinion. So here we go. Here's my list. I don't write them down unless you're really, really bored. Now, first, it's important to know history. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid and I was going to school, why do I sound like Myron Cohen? I don't know, but when history bored me to no end. What are we talking about? George Washington and Civil War. I don't know when it was, why it was, what the moment was when I said, oh, I've got it. It's cyclical. So know history with this caveat. And remember this great line, one of my favorites from Leo Tolstoy. History would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. Because it's a lie. The lies of history. History is written by the winners. I think Churchill said that. History is a myth that men agree to believe. Bonaparte, Napoleon, I call him Bonaparte. He said that. Whose frame of reference are we going to talk about with history? If I were to say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kiwanis Luncheon. I'm your host. We have a general from Vietnam, from the Vietnam War, who is here today to speak to us. Really? Yes. He was a part of major battles, this multi-decorated general. We'll talk to you about his experience in the Vietnam War. Ladies and gentlemen, General Nguyen Van... Wait a minute. Who? Yes, he's with the NVA. He was a communist. He was with Ho Chi Minh. You don't want to hear his perspective on this? No, he has no perspective. Oh, yes, he does. So when you talk about history, whose history are we talking about? Whose perspective are we talking about? May I commend to you a wonderful piece on HBO called Assume the Position. Have you seen that with Mr. Wool? Isn't that fantastic? Absolutely wonderful. And he speaks about how history that we talk about is really pop culture. And if you ask people today, who was the individual who, when hearing that the British were coming, announced that the British were coming and rode on horseback from Boston to Philadelphia, who was that person? Who was that person that we celebrate today? And most people will say, of course, Paul Revere. It was Israel Bissell. Israel Bissell went from Boston to Philadelphia, 2 days on horseback. Paul Revere rode like 3 blocks and that was it. History would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. So the history that you think you've got, well, I'm not so sure. Because remember, it's always written by the winner. Next, Gore Vidal is one of my, I love Gore Vidal. And Gore Vidal said something which I'll never forget. He said, I am not a conspiracy theorist, I'm a conspiracy analyst. Now, I don't know when the word conspiracy got a bad rap. I am a professional lawyer by profession. I'm a prosecutor, was. I put people away for a long time for conspiracies. The Confederation, the agreement to do something between 2 guilty people. Have you ever heard this from people? Are you a conspiracy? Is this some conspiracy theory you're talking about? Wait a minute, are you one of those tinfoil hat conspiracy people? Are you one of, I get that all the time. Well, what do you mean? Wait a minute, what, are you know, I'm not into conspiracies. And what conspiracies mean to people is that the government is hiding something from you, or that the official story isn't true. That's not a conspiracy. That means they're hiding something from you. It means the truth isn't what they tell you. Conspiracy is a different story. You can't talk about anything today without saying, okay, that's what they tell me, but what's the real story? Wait a minute, are you a conspiracy theorist? And they say, are you a tinfoil hatter? I always remind people, we haven't used tinfoil in years. It's aluminum. Nobody uses tinfoil. This is where this country is today. They don't want to hear. I'm still arguing. Look, I don't know if I was 5 years old when Kennedy was whacked on public television. I was 5. I kind of barely remember it. And even as a little kid, first time I saw my parents crying, I said, what happened? I don't know what, it was really, I mean, this was the days of before breaking news. Everything now is breaking news. Look, here's a rat pulling a piece of pizza down the subway steps. Breaking news. Continuing story. Breaking news. Stop. Breaking news is broken. It's nonsense. Now, I don't know about you today, but even then I would say, if you think that I'm supposed to believe, honestly, even since I could remember, that Lee Harvey Oswald, this is maybe my introduction, maybe this is what set me down that path, I don't know. But if you expect me to believe that this guy on his own did, no. What are you getting at? Is this a conspiracy theory? I don't know what you call it, but I don't believe this story. So you tell me what I am. So remember, be a conspiracy analyst. Don't theorize anything. Analyze it. Next, number 4, the co-defendant, the getaway driver. You know, in law we have this thing called the accessory after the fact. This is the getaway driver. This is the one who hides you. This is the one who holds you up while the cops are looking for you. The accessory after the fact. An accomplice, so to speak. The accessory after the fact today, the accomplice today, are the mainstream media. They provide the cover. They provide the official story. They're repeaters and not reporters. These are the guys who, and they don't really know they're doing it. Don't get me wrong, I've been with them before. Many of my great friends are with mainstream media, trying to make a living. Nobody sends you a memo that says, okay, now listen, here's the story. We're going to lie about Syria. It doesn't work that way. They just do their thing. It's an atmosphere. Hey! You put together a romper room school thing, news, sports, and weather, traffic on the ones, and next thing you know, you're a cover because you create the illusion in people's minds that after all, there was something to this, we would be telling you about this. So everything's fine. Let's run that video of the rat pulling the pizza down the subway steps. Did anybody see that one? That mesmerized the world. We're in New York. We see that all the time. Rats, pizzas, 8-course meal, people dragging dead people down. What is a piece of pizza? Nothing. Nothing. Hey, look at a viral video. Okay, Chuck, let's look at that again. Hey, maybe you can send us your picture of your rat to hashtag what the hell are we doing at channel whatever the hell it is. I mean, I still, can I be honest with you? You know what I still can't figure out? Weather. On TV, weather. What do you want to know? I can tell you the next 10-day forecast in Tel Aviv. Name it, any place. Kabul, I can tell you. What are we doing weather? Well, the Doppler forecast. This is 60 years ago. They haven't changed the format in 60 years. How about traffic on TV? Unless you're showing me traffic? Do we have TVs in our cars? Why are you showing me traffic on TV? Because we're conning you. We're stretching. We're the cover. We're feeding. You see, the media, understand something. It's a runaway train. It's this runaway train that you got to keep, unlike wanting to stop the runaway train, you want to keep the runaway train going. So you've got to fuel and stoke this furnace, and you're breaking things off, and chairs and wood, and you're throwing it in, anything, rats with pizza. One day, I don't know where, but I asked a question. Because it's funny, I just asked the question. And I looked up in the sky among a lot of people in the business whose names I won't mention. And I saw these hashtags of some kind of propellant, trail of something, back and forth like tic-tac-toe hashtags. I said, what's that? He said, well, that's a condensation trail. I said, I don't think that's a condensation trail. Because condensation trail kind of goes away. This is like there for hours. What is this? I don't know. I said, here's an idea. Why don't you do a story tonight called, what the hell is that stuff in the sky? Don't ask any, just ask, hey folks, are you tired of seeing the rat pull the pizza? Well, here's something for you. What the hell is this? If you have an answer, hashtag us at channel, whatever, we're on your side. Nobody's interested. I said, do you understand that according to this pattern, there are jets going back and forth and they're lost. Look in the sky. Not read a book, not go back 10 years, not read about the Korean War. Look. Get your camera, put it up there, take a picture and say, what the hell is this? And they look at me and they say, no. Can you work with me on that one? I know what you're thinking, because you're conspiracy theorists. You're thinking it's geoengineering, it's chemtrails, and all this stuff, nanoparticulate, even though they've admitted, I'm not even going there. I couldn't get their attention by having them look. I mean, that's like having a dead body fall out of the sky. Hey, you want to get a picture of this? No, it's okay. So remember, the media are the accomplice. I don't know why. They must go in and whatever that part of your brain is called curiosity, it must be ablated or surgically removed. Number 4, I'm getting to the bottom of this. If you can give a name to your political ideology, lose it. If you have a name, well, I'm a libertarian, lose it. I'm a syndical, an anarcho-syndicalist. I still don't know what that means. Well, Trump, I'm an anarcho-syndicalist. I'm a social liberal, but a fiscal conservative. Stop it, because we're spending our time trying to say, any country music fans here? Okay, maybe not. All right. I talk to my friends all the time. Johnny Cash is a country. Hey, man. No, he's not. No, he's folk. Johnny Cash. No, that's not good. That's not bluegrass. That's not country. And nobody's listening to Johnny Cash play because we're talking about whether it's Johnny Cash or whether it's it. That's this. Libertarian, Ken? What's libertarian? Remember the old joke of the Republican who wants to smoke dope? I don't know if that's true. I don't even know. So lose labels if you can. Believe me. Just say, here's what I think about this. Well, is that a libertarian? I don't know what it's called. Here's what I think. This is what I think. And I think this now. And I may not think it tomorrow. I don't like this. I think this. And then name it. Okay? Next. We talk about being an American. And I have a rule that says there's an inverse proportionality between the size of the American flag lapel pin and what they know about America. The bigger the flag, the less they know. These big flags like this, clueless. So when people talk, and libertarians like to talk about it, well, I'm from the Ron Paul, I'm from the Austrian school, we're more from the von Mises, Montpellerin, the von Hayek, I'm the Austrian school, I'm from the American school of economics, Alexander Hamilton, tariffs. We're okay with that. What are you talking about? Right now, Hamilton, right? Biggest thing on Broadway. They have no idea about federalism. Ask yourself this. If you don't want to be an American, that's okay. You're in the wrong place, but understand what it means. There are rules here that transcend any generation, any religion. Look up the American School of Economics. Read about Carey. Read it. We have a fundamental, there are rules here. Okay, there are rules to this country. And a lot of people will think that you don't like this country. Or you want to go somewhere there. You love this country. That's why you're here. You love this country. This is like this wayward child or parent, or I don't know what you look at your country as, but you're worried. You love this place. You're frightened by what's going on. So, while you're frightened, learn what the country is all about. The reading is phenomenal. All right, number 6. The First Amendment's a bitch. All right? You can quote me on that. Liberty and the First Amendment are a bitch. It provides for stuff that will make your hair curl. I'm telling you right now, I remember when I was part of prosecution teams, because now there's all this Liberty Fest, marijuana, pot fest, ganja fest, marijuana fest. That's terrific. Do not put people in jail for marijuana. However, if you think this stuff is harmless, you're out of your mind. This ain't even pot. I don't know what this is. You'll find out later on. When you're walking around yelling, who ordered the veal cutlet? You'll know what I'm talking about. But with freedom, it's a bitch. It's your right to do whatever you want to yourself. Whatever it is. Don't drive, don't give it to kids, knock yourself out. It's freedom. It's a bitch. Say what you want. You know what I hate? Hate crimes. Hate crimes are the worst thing ever. And we want to kill the First Amendment. That's a hate crime. It's a hate crime. Is that cyberbullying? Are you shaming? Is that shaming? Is that micro-shaming? Micro-shaming? What the hell is micro-shaming? Is that a microaggression? You're goddamn right there's a micro. What are you talking about? Is that a shame? Is that a First Amendment? Did you say, excuse me, did you use the N-word? Did you? Look, I'm not advocating this, but stop it. If you don't like something, get up and leave, or turn somebody's mic off, or look the other way. I know it's a tough concept, because to be able to hate is a freedom. Look, let me tell you what a hate crime is. It's very, very simple. Okay? Works like this. Take a constitutionally protected idea. I hate Alsatians, Aleuts, Inuits, whoever the hell you hate. Pick a group, nobody knows what you're talking about, but you can hate them. You can hate them. You can wear t-shirts that I hate these people. You can make a sign to symbolize your hatred. Fine. Take a cognizable law. Assault, battery. That's against the law. Put them together, and what do you have? You have a hate crime in which you charge somebody a little bit more seriously because he dared to utter a constitutionally protected idea. That's a hate crime. Get rid of the hate crime. Go after the crime. Forget the hate crime. I don't care why you did something. I don't care what your motivation was. You're just trying to get the feeling back in your hands, aren't you? I'm kidding, of course. But I don't understand this. You know who I used to get into arguments with left and right? Johnny Cochran. The great Johnny Cochran. I loved him. The great Johnny Cochran. If the glove don't fit, you got to acquit. Remember that? This was before. In fact, one time, I got to tell you something. Johnny was so great. We were on doing radio. We were doing talk radio on WABC at the time. And as we're about to go on, I said, by the way, Johnny, you know, I would do something a little bit different if it were me. And I were up against you. 5 seconds. I would change it to, if you acquit, you're foolish. Okay, and we're back on it. He started laughing hysterically. But Johnny Cochran and I would argue. He said, don't you understand that? You just hate crimes? Do you think cross burning is right? He goes, hell no. It's a crime. Arson, burglary, trespass, criminal mischief. I don't care why you burned a cross. I don't care what your motivation was. What if you're a bad hate crime person? What if you burn a Christmas tree on a black family's lawn? You go, what's that? He goes, that's my hate crime. I don't know how to make a cross, but this. What if you do something? What if you take a spray paint and you stencil the Mogen David, the Star of David, on a temple? No, you're supposed to do the swastika. No, that's my hate crime. They'll make it into, well, did you mean it? It's stupid. Cyberbullying, bullying. I don't like bullying, but you're not going to get anywhere by passing a law against it. Because when I get you to pass a law, I got you. You make it even easier for me next time to pass another law. That's good. You feel better, don't you? Yeah, good. Don't you feel better? Yeah. I love this one. Guns, there's another problem too. We cannot argue guns in this country. We can't do it. It can't be done. Nobody can do it. I'm not even going to go there. They just can't. I think we should get rid of all the guns. How the hell are you going to get rid of all the guns? I don't know. I just think if you got all the guns, you can't kill any people because there's no guns. Okay, great, terrific. Have you met these people? You know, we should get all these illegal immigrants and round them up and get rid of them. How are you going to round up 25 million people? I don't know, but if you get a million people and we take them away, okay, terrific. Number 7, the left-right paradigm is an illusion. Carol Quigley, Tragedy of Hope, you've heard this is my crowd here. Having a good time, good, terrific. Two sides of the same coin. If you go to CVS and you buy something and you hand a quarter, I don't know what costs a quarter, but if you say it's 25 cents, would you like the head side or the tail side? It doesn't matter. It's still a quarter. That's what this is, this illusion that somehow Hillary Clinton is a liberal or Barack Obama is a liberal and that Donald Trump is the opposite of that. And if you vote for one versus the other, you're going to get a diametrically opposed, different course. You're out of your mind. Any Mets fans here?
Let's go, Mets!
There we go. See? Typical National Leaguer. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. No, are you an American League fan? No, I'm a baseball. Are you a National League or American League? I don't know. I never thought about it that way. That's what politics is to me. Who cares? Democrat, doesn't matter. Okay? Doesn't matter. Next one, number 8. Whenever you hear the government say, this is the official account, Rephrase it this way. This is what we want you to think. This is what we want you to think. Today, the president explained the bombing of Syria and Russia bombing Syria. This is what they want you to think. Now, this is not what happened. This is the truth. This is what we want you to think. Number 9, who runs the country? Deep state and the ruling class. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they live. I don't know if it's the Bank of International Settlements. I don't know if it's Bilderberg, or I don't know. But it ain't this. It ain't this. Remember when you were in college or you're in school or in high school, you've got a city or a student council? That's what it is. They meet, it looks good, but they're not running the show. They're putting on. Sometimes parents will give their little kid a little chair, a little seat in the car to make the kids feel like, I'm driving. Look, I'm driving. Look, see, I'm turning this. Look, I'm voting. I'm a part of this. I got my voting sticker on. I'm voting. You didn't vote for anything. It's an illusion. All right? Believe me. Number 10, what controls the world? Money. Money. That's it. Gerald Celente. Any Celente fans here? I love him. Gerald Celente, in fact, my wife and I saw him the other day at an event. The most brilliant thing he ever said was, what do you think the chances would be if I were invading Iraq if their main export was broccoli? Isn't it funny how the only place we ever go where there's terrorism, the only place happens to be the international crossroads of some kind of, energy that we want, or rare earth metals? Isn't it funny that Afghanistan happens to be the Saudi Arabia of lithium, which fuels and powers everything in computer? Isn't that interesting? Now, during the DCR, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or DRC, when women were raped as an instrument of war, when they had fistulas, and horrible. Nobody cared, because what do they export? Chocolate? Nobody cares about that. It's all about money. And that fact, or that reality, is worked into something about terrorism, or they hate our freedom, or something which the right wing normally will go along all the time. Number 11. 2 more to go. Know when to be the detective and know when to be, how am I doing there? All right, good. Know when to be the detective and know when to be the juror. Now, I know there's a lot of 9/11 stuff here. And I know you people like me said, wait a minute. There's so much that was going on. Wait a minute. What happened with this? Wait. Hold it. What? 5 events. North Tower, South Tower, Building 7, Shanksville, Pentagon. That was just... And I was on a radio station at the time. And I'll never forget looking at this. And I looked at the picture of Shanksville. You've seen it, Flight 93, right? You've seen this. What is it? It looked like, you probably don't know this, but if you're from the South or Cuban, we would barbecue a pig, noche buena, they would have, there would be like a little dent or a divot in the ground, be some steam coming up where you put the coals, and that's it. There was a couple of trucks, and this little dent with some steam. And I said, what's that? He said, that's Flight 93. I said, where's the plane? And they said, what are you getting at? I said, I'm not getting at anything. I'm asking you, where's the plane? I'm just asking. And they said, I don't know. And then, what they do is they start, because you're challenging them, they start making up physical laws. Well, what happens is, you see, the velocity is so great that the Earth... I said, wait, what do you... First of all, Jerry, you lay tile for a living. What are you, an expert? And now, crash pattern? I'm just asking a question. Where is it? What are you getting at? I'm not getting at anything. I'm asking a simple question. Oh, so you're saying there's no plane there? I'm saying that whatever you're showing me, there's nothing there. Well, where'd they go? Who? The people. And this is the number 12 part. It's your story. You tell me. I don't know anything about this. You came to me with this thing. I ask a simple question. So imagine being a detective. And a detective knows when something is not right. But if I was a juror, I would have to say, you know what, I probably don't have any evidence here of any kind of whatever it is. So I'd have to find somebody not guilty because frankly, there's no evidence of this. But that doesn't mean that the detective in us doesn't say, wait a minute, something's not right here. Something's not right. I want to pursue this. You want me, if something ever happens to your family, somebody you love, you want me as your detective. Because I'm going to sit there and say, you know what, I don't like that. I don't like his. I know he's got an alibi, but I don't believe that guy. You'll say, great, do it. Come on, Columbo, come on, do it. But yet, when people come in and give us something, and by the way, I have no opinion about, I don't know anything about 9/11. I'm like you. But if I ask a question, they have these people, they say, well, you don't understand. We don't like the fact that you're asking these things. Well, get used to it. Because I'm going to ask a lot of stuff. And haven't you met these people? Haven't you met these people? They say, hey, you don't understand. I lost somebody there. I say, then we're on the same page. I'm asking a question. I swear to you, I think that probably did more to make me realize that, wait a minute. I was, in my generation, we were told this, okay? Here's Kennedy. Yep, he was shot from the back. Now, wait a minute. Oh, this is before any kind of... We're still arguing that one. How is anybody... Have you not been in a car? Do you not know Newtonian momentum? What are we talking about? This is how crazy we are. Well, it doesn't really matter. And then you meet these people who their sole focus is either A, you've called something into question that they should know about, or B, they're just the contrarian. They're the skeptics. You ever meet these people? They're called the skeptics, and they believe nothing. They believe, they have no imagination, no nothing. So the bottom line is simply this. In conclusion, I think, in conclusion, all right, because I don't want to, you know, if you want to call this Liberty Fest, I think it's kind of sad that we got to call this. First of all, you've got to thank yourself, because I would love to meet each of you and say, what was your moment? When did you come out, so to speak? When? Because you know your relatives may say, oh, there's Jerry. You know, I don't know what happened to Jerry. He's going to this thing in Brooklyn. It's at a Polish, a pierogi and punk house. I don't know what he's doing, but he's, you know, he wears T-shirts with surveillance and he quotes Orwell a lot. I don't know what happened to him. He's a nice guy, but, and you know you get those looks, right? Like you're crazy. Like what, you know. Well, you know, he does have a beard. That's why I walk around like this. Do I look crazy to you? Well, maybe I do, but I'm saying, and I don't know what it was, but I wish I knew every one of you. Where was it? Where did you realize the world goes like this, and you go like this? You go, I don't know about that. And you don't do this just because you've got nothing better to do on a Sunday. There's something about this world where you don't fit in. You don't buy this. You're not listening to the lies. None of it makes any sense. And it's not enough for you to say, oh, well, what are you going to do? It bothers you. And you have friends of yours, don't you? And relatives who don't seem to care. And this thing consumes you. And how is it that you care so much about this? You see lies and surveillance and you think, oh my God. Forget GMO, name it. Vaccines, you pick whatever you want. And you think about this. What is it that changed you, that made you wake up? That's the part. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what it was, why it was, but I'm not going to stop. And I'm going to keep asking my questions, as undefined or ill-defined as they are, as long as I want, until I get the answer that I want. And every 4 years, I do what I do when it comes to voting for president. I take out my pen and I write my name on the actual ballot and I turned it in. And by the way, there are some states that make it a crime for you to post a picture of your ballot. Arrest me. So let me just say this. If you would like to follow me, LionelMedia.com is my main website, my main thing where I do podcasts, I do videos, whatever strikes my fancy. You can also follow me on Twitter at Lionel Media. And I'm also, one of the things which I also do as well is still practice law. And still want to tell you something. If you think that you have felt the full force of the man or whoever the group of people are, wait until you get arrested. Wait until you find yourself like you're against a big corporation or you're against something that you've heard about all the time. You have no idea what it's like when you find yourself and you are seriously in a world of hurt. And that's one of the things which I hope more lawyers would remind people of. So, I want to thank you. Is that all right if I do, Mr. Kokesh? I want to thank you, as I always say, on behalf of a grateful nation. I love to say that no matter what. People say, what the hell is he talking about? But on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank you for doing this. Next year, if you would like to have me back again, or next whatever it is, let me know what I can help you. And remember, never apologize for asking any question. Because after all, it's their story, not yours. Thank you very much.